everyone, my name is Christopher Coulter, and today I will be showing you how to throw a javelin. So a lot of people don't realize that javelin takes a lot more skill than, in my opinion, it's the hardest event in track and field in general. A lot of people think it's, oh, you just pick it up and you just throw it with all your strength, but it actually takes a lot of technique and it's quite hard to master. And in this video, I will be showing you 5 steps on how to exactly throw the javelin. And the first step is basically everything you do before you actually start throwing. Like what I like to do is I like to familiarize myself with my javelin. First off, this is my own personal javelin. My dad got me for my birthday. It's got my favorite color, blue on it, with a nice black swirl in it. And this is actually the end you throw the javelin from. A lot of people think it's this end, but it's not. It's actually the big thick end. And here's the grip. There's many different types of grips when throwing javelin. There's the French grip, which when you put your middle finger here, you can throw like that. Then there's the V grip. Then there's my favorite grip, the American grip, which I just like to use. And so before I throw in competition, I usually like to stand right in front of the runway, thinking to myself, calming myself down, memorizing my steps for my run up and everything, and just trying to be calm. And then after that, you go into your second step, step 2, which is the run up. And the run-up is basically when you see a javelin thrower stand here and they're running down before they throw. And a lot of people don't realize this is probably the easiest step to mess up because you just need to practice and practice and practice it over and over. Otherwise, you'll mess up a competition really easily. And a lot of people have their own variety of steps. I like to have 10 steps. And instead of just running normally like this, you have these things called crossovers where you run kind of like that. And then after you master your run-up, there's step 3, which is called the penultimate step, which is basically right after your run-up. You do this kind of like this jump. It's not really a jump, but it's kind of like a hop. It's this right here. And it leads into your block, which I'll tell you in step 4. And basically the whole purpose of this step is to take all your momentum from doing the run-up and move it, transfer it right into your throw. And otherwise, without this step, you wouldn't have a run-up at all, and you just see people standing at the line and just throwing. And so this is where step 4 comes into play, which is probably the most important step of the entire throw, which is called the block. And the block is basically right after you do your penultimate step, you jump and you land. This is the plant. Then your block is this right here. This is basically what stops you and puts all your momentum into the throw. And it's a really explosive movement that happens in like a couple milliseconds. And an analogy my coach likes to use, which I really like, is kind of like a car hitting a tree. And the car being your body, you're moving, you're doing the run up, you're going 50 miles per hour in the car. And the tree being your block, when you hit the tree and you're not wearing a seatbelt, you, the javelin, flies with great momentum and you fly out the car. And it's a really important step, which leads you into throwing. You put all your momentum, you stop, and then all your momentum goes, and you throw. And then this leads to the last step, step 5, which is after you throw, your follow through. Since the block is such an explosive movement, you stop and then you throw, and there's so much energy and movement going through your body, you fall and stumble really easily. And the big problem with that is that there's this line us javelin throwers can't cross in competition, but if we do cross it and you step over, the whole throw counts as nothing. So you can break your record 50 feet over your record and just have it be cut away worth nothing if you go over that line. So what I like to do is after I throw the javelin, and I like to, because usually you have to go over and have the third step, which is why in the run-up you have to practice your steps a lot, so when you finish, you'll stop and the line will be right there. And I've fallen many times, many times I've fallen, and I've crossed the line a couple times, which made me really sad. I had a really good record-breaking throw, but I stumbled. I literally slid across, and it was not fun. And those are my 5 basic easy steps of how to throw a javelin. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you learned something and realized javelin is not as easy as it looks or sounds. It's a really hard competition, and I thank you all. Have a good day.